a big issue that is looked at like a little issue. I feel like it doesn't get the awareness it should.
Right off the bat, they go to the doctors and they get prescribed, you know, different pharmaceutical drugs, and then when the pharmaceutical drugs, falter, they have to find other stuff. So, it all kind of like plays back and forth, and I think that people have fallen victim to it. Certain people in certain parts of the world.
I think that as a college student in Maine, I know a lot of people that pop pills on the regular, and I think it's getting to be a bit of a problem, and that they don't necessarily realize that like there's more natural things for them to use that are more healthy for their body and their mind.
Kind of gets pushed into our society because we have this live free kind of mentality, so everyone just wants to be happy.
Well, specifically in Maine, I think that, oh man, I mean, coming up the coast from Florida, all these kind of pain management clinics and stuff like that. Um, it's a whole nother world.
I think it has gotten really widespread through painkillers being used, especially in college kids. I think it's a way that a lot of people feel like they can mask pain without really thinking of other alternatives.
Well, since I was raised here and I've just lived here my entire life, it's another thing that sucks to see, and especially back home. There's a lot of people addicted to things like opiates and oxys, and it's unfortunate to see those around you uh, just fall victim to this and become so dependent on it that you feel like there's just no help for them, and you wish you could help them personally since you care about them.
The severity of the issue isn't really taken into full account. It's more, it's like a sex talk, really. It's like, okay, I know this, stop getting in my face about it. It's not taken as seriously as it should.
I think that a lot of the times youth are using it to cover up stuff, and that there's a lot of alternatives.
They're exposed to it a lot earlier because of stuff like Breaking Bad and stupid stuff like that.
It's a very difficult situation to be put in. Lots of trauma can be caused from that. So I think that a generation we should be trying to protect is kind of getting damaged by this.
That's the biggest problem for me overall, I guess, is seeing young people become so vulnerable to drug addiction and fall victim to it.
I don't think Maine's handling awareness.
I think there's not really a lot of awareness. When I was in high school, there was never really any talk about kids using, or even in college. Like, I mean, everybody knows it happens. Everybody knows it's going on.
Like, do you think in Maine there's enough awareness?
No, I don't think at all. I also think that it would be really important for when teaching awareness to know like holistic options and things that are good for your body that like aren't necessarily medicinal. So even people who might need painkillers, there's other alternatives because it's really easy to get addicted to those.
I think that people are getting pushed to start taking pills at a younger age overall. Kids, children, they either have hyperactive or ADHD, or their personality or their whatever is askew, so they have to get put on meds to correct the issue, and it starts at a younger age, and it's terrifying, So so when they start at a younger age, they're basically falling victim to be dependent on those drugs for life, because their bodies automatically just get attached to the process that the drugs have on them, and their bodies can't naturally correct those types of behaviors. So, get started at a younger age, because parents are losing the ability to control their kids. They're losing the ability to kind of manage their child's behavior and their own behavior. So they fall back on what's easy and comfortable, and what's easy and comfortable is just a quick fix like that with drugs.
A bigger problem because it's easier for the distributors, I guess.
I think we need to look at just how greedy these companies are, and just how disgustingly we're being used as people. We're being used by doctors. We're being used by the pharmaceutical companies. We're being used by the FDA for their gain. It's our pain and suffering and loss of life for their gain, for their benefit. Throughout the board. I mean, it's so first of all, there needs to be not a new drug every couple of months get put on the market. There needs to be, and so there's a lot of things that need to happen up here, but then with the people, we need to start realizing that we do not need to depend on these drugs. We just need to depend on our own body's way of, figuring stuff out, in our own natural body, process.
Like the gateway theory, not necessarily just marijuana, but any drug could lead to harder drugs, and I think opiates is about as hard as you can get.
I think like any and all issues that really impact people's daily lives, and I mean, people die from pharmaceutical pills every single day, and people get, but then again, more and more people get put on pharmaceutical pills every single day. So I think that the more it impacts people's lives, the more people are going to rise up against it and start addressing the problems of it. But the issue really lies in the fact that we're meeting a brick wall with it, because of all these other companies that have all of this power and have all of this structured ways that they're going to keep us in these little confines of their pocket. So, but as long as there's still that pressure coming from underneath, meaning the people are rising up against these different companies and against these different kind of government procedure, then I think that you could definitely see some change over a period of time. But it's always going to take time.
We just keep spreading awareness, because that's one of the best things you can possibly do, of course. But to get everyone off of it, I don't know. That's tough.
All we need to, as a society, realize that we're being used. Realize that we're being treated like pawns in a game of money, and it's all about the green, for these companies. So there just needs to be kind of an awakening of the people, and a boundary set with these companies and with the FDA and with the government. But how the hell is that going to happen? It's not.
I don't think that they're really handling it all. I think it's one of those problems that they feel that they're ignorant to, because I don't know. I feel like when it's like cocaine or other things like meth, like it's more tangible and easy to like point out that it's illegal. But like when it's like when it's pills that you can get, prescription, it's more easy to hide.
You can't put man-made items into an organic, natural body. If you do that, your body has no idea what to do with them. Do your research. Look this shit up. It's all right there on the internet.
People need to be aware of all the possible harms that they could be doing to themselves, no matter what drug it may be.